Hello folks, Victorial here. Are you married? Are you going to have kids in a while? Are you building your own house and you're looking for a cheap transportation with a giant trunk to truck building materials? Or you're just looking for a cheap and comfortable family station wagon? Then there is only one proposal for you, the Volkswagen Passat B5. It was produced from 1996 to 2005. The car shares its platform with the Audi A4 B5. I already reviewed this car. You can check the video if you want. Link in the description. The Passat B5 wasn't just based on the Audi A4 B5. It has almost the same engines, parts, suspension, and it's as comfortable as the Audi A4. The car had its facelift in late 2000 with styling and mechanical revisions, new headlights and taillights, and generally the facelift model looks way better than its pre-facelift version. What about the quality? Everything seems well glued together, but models with high mileages might display the expected wear and tear. So buying the Passat B5, which for sure has a high mileage, do not expect too much from it. The greatest advantage of the Passat B5 is its practicality. It has a really big trunk, especially the station wagon. The trunk of the station wagon is really huge. You can truck pretty much anything you want with it, like half a ton of cement, baby buggy, your in-laws, or even a casket. So let's go to engines and let's begin with diesels. First, let's talk about engines of the pre-facelift Passat. The most popular and the most recommended power unit in this car is a 1.9-liter TDI, producing 90, 110 or 115 horsepower, depending on an engine code and the year of production. All 1.9-liter diesels in this car are indestructible, and they can make 500,000 kilometers without any serious problems. However, 1.9-liter diesels with 100 and 115 horsepower are engines which use a unit injector fuel system. Their DMF might die, but the engines themselves are really good. There is also a 2.5-liter TDI with 150 horsepower. Sounds seductively, huh? But don't be foolish. This is the same 2.5-liter TDI as in the Audi A4 B5, which isn't the best option. Its greatest weaknesses are wearing out camshafts and the dying fuel injection pump. You better don't buy it, because the Passat with this engine is like a money pit. You'll spend more money on repairs than on fuel. What about petrol engines? The most basic motors are 1.6-liter 4-cylinder with 101 horsepower and a 1.8-liter 20-volt 4-cylinder with 125 horsepower. Those two engines are just good. The best doing petrol engine is a 1.8-liter turbo 4-cylinder with 150 horsepower. This engine is really fucking good. It offers so much tuning potential. You can make with it even 400 horsepower. Sometimes it will be necessary to regenerate or even replace the turbine, and the engine might use too much motor oil with a higher mileage. Another motor is a 2-liter 8-volt 4-cylinder with 120 horsepower. This engine is great as well, so you can buy it, and that's all I know about it. If you want a bit bigger and a bit stronger engine, you can choose a 2.3-liter VR5 150 horsepower. A VR5 engine.
What the fuck is this?
VR6s and VR5s are V6 engines with a narrow angle between the cylinder banks and a single cylinder head covering both banks of cylinders. VR6 engines have 6 cylinders and VR5 engines have 5 of them. The 2.3-liter 10-volt VR5 with 150 horsepower is a great engine. It's very dynamic, quick, and it works really good. But technically, the engine is very complicated, so it's not very economical and it might be very expensive to maintain. The top engine option of the pre-facelift Passat is a 2.8-liter V6 with 193 horsepower. This is exactly the same engine as in the Audi A4 B5. The pre-facelift Passat B5 could be optionally equipped with a synchro 4-wheel drive. It's the same drivetrain taken from the Golf Mark III, and it's also a great option. That's all I can say about the pre-facelift Passat B5. Let's go to the facelift model. It was presented in 2000 and it was a deep modernization of the Passat. Except new engines, the Passat B5 gained a new 4-motion all-wheel drive, which is technically identical as Audi Quattro. The main difference between those two drivetrains is their name. They are totally the same. We still have 1.9-liter diesels under the hood, which is awesome, but avoid a 2-liter TDI and 2.5-liter TDI V6s. Those engines are incredibly faulty. What about petrol engines? A 1.6-liter 4-cylinder has now 102 horsepower. Not a big big difference. The 1.8-liter turbo remained the same. We have no 2-liter 8-valve 4-cylinder with 115 horsepower and the 20-valve 2-liter producing 120 horsepower. The 2.3-liter VR5 gained additional 20 horsepower. The best civil version of the facelift Passat B5 has the 2.8-liter V6 with 193 horsepower. It didn't change much, and that's good. The most hardcore version is called the Volkswagen Passat W8. It is powered with a 4-liter W8 engine producing 275 horsepower. The Passat W8 can make 250 km per hour and it makes 0 to 100 in 6.8 seconds. The W8 badge on the trunk means the best engine, the best equipment with white leather seats, the best drivetrain, and generally this is the best Passat B5 ever made. It's very difficult to find and to buy the Passat W8. It's almost impossible to see this car on the road. Going back to the regular Passat B5, in my opinion, this car is good to a fault and really boring at once. It gives you everything you need for a reasonable price. It's cheap to maintain, it's quite economical, especially with the diesel under the hood, and it's a very practical car. Thank you so much for watching. More content to come, so don't forget to subscribe this channel. Have a good one.